So of course in the last episode we had Manchester City come to us and ask us if we would like to manage their club, jump ship from the Den to the Etihad. Will we take the very big offer to join Manchester City? Well, I let you guys decide and you guys voted that we should stay at Millwall. So we'll be staying at the Den and that's perfectly fine with me, to be honest. I think a lot of people were hoping we would change clubs for the first time in the series, but of course I did say that I'd leave it up to you guys, and the vast majority, well the majority at least, said we should stay with the London club, so that's perfectly fine with me. I don't mind, and of course this does mean, you know, if you guys do want me to leave eventually, you know, this, you know, staying at Millwall, we're not going to be here forever, so, you know, eventually another club will come in for us, and, you know, maybe next time we will leave. So for those of you that were hoping we would leave the club, don't worry too much. You know, it doesn't mean that we'll be staying here for the rest of the series. It just means for the time being we will be staying, and that's all there is to it really. So it doesn't really matter too much if you did want us to leave, because I'm sure another offer will come up eventually. Because I mean, you know, the first offer we've had is a big club like City, so there's no reason why another big club couldn't come in for us in a few years or so, or at least a few months anyway. Sorry, a few months or possibly in a few years. But anyway, we do have the first game as we stay with Millwall here against West Brom in the Barclays Premier League. Now, of course, to be honest, the Barclays Premier League now, as we come towards the end of the season, is basically pointless because we can't really advance anywhere. We're not gonna, I mean, I know we're not too far off the Champions League places, but let's be honest, we're probably not going to get into the top 4. We've already qualified for the Europa League next year, so really, when we come into these games, I'm not really that fussed. I'm more interested in resting the players and making sure we'll be able to advance as far as possible in the Europa League. So I did rest pretty much the entire side coming into this game. We did have the first chance of the game as well. Junior Stanislas had a good shot there, but it just went wide of the post. But in the 43rd minute, we came through again. It was Ryan Gould who got onto the ball, fake shot around his man, played the ball over the top towards Dongu. Dongu runs forward here, but he blazes his shot wide. What a great chance that was on the one-on-one, and it was still Millwall 0, West Brom 0. But straight from the goal kick, interestingly enough, Lee Camp plays the ball forward with a straight pass towards Claudio Jacob here. Jacob's onto the ball and he gives it backwards towards Chico Flores, the former Swansea man, and the Spanish defender runs straight into Dongu. He makes the interception, pokes the ball over the top towards Junior Stanislas, and he heads the ball past Lee Camp. So West Brom trying to pass out from the back like we do, they clearly couldn't do it very well, and it was Chico Flores, the guilty man there. He gives the ball away. Dongu makes him pay as he plays the ball through, and Junior Stanislas heads the ball past Lee Camp and into the back of the net. So 1-0 to us here just before the half-time mark as well, and I was very glad as well, because even though we were dominant in the first half, I was fearful that if we didn't get one of these goals, we didn't take one of our chances, West Brom would come back and hit us in the second half. But it doesn't matter, because Stanislas does score the goal to put us 1-0 in front, gets his 4th goal in the Barclays Premier League, and with a lot of players arriving next year on pre-contracts, his position at the club may be under threat, so he needs to keep performing in the games we'd pick him. And he had another great chance here to make it 2-0. He goes through but puts the ball over the bar on the chip. So very unlucky from Stanislas there, almost making it 2 goals for him and 2 goals to Millwall. But in the 54th minute, Gutierrez is onto the ball, gives it back to Alex McCarthy, our goalkeeper, plays a wonderful free ball to Todd Kane, our right back, who chips the ball over the top towards Camiliano. He plays the ball to Ibanez Castro on loan from Barcelona. Great ball through to Dongu. He passes the ball through to Stanislas, but his shot is well saved by Lee Camp, and Dongu's shot is blocked. So Stanislas had pretty much all the chances for us really. He was playing really well in this game, but it was still 1-0. But in the 76th minute, once again, we play out from the back. McCarthy sees Ryan Gould on the right wing. He gives it to him. Camiliano plays a great through ball towards Dongu, and Craig Dawson gets caught in no man's land, gives the ball away. Dongu runs through. He's got all the pace, and this was a penalty as Lee Camp brings Dongu down. The referee gives a penalty, and I was really surprised by that, because Dongu, he wins the penalty. There was contact by Lee Camp, but Dongu just seemed to run into the goalkeeper, and he sort of dived over him, and you know, I guess the best way of putting it is he was looking for the penalty, you know, because there was no need for him to barge into Lee Camp, because the ball was nowhere near the goalkeeper. But even so, the referee did give a penalty. It was the right decision, but Dongu was certainly looking for it. It was a penalty to us, and Leao Gutierrez, our scout future star, 18-year-old centre-back, captain for the day, stands over it, and I thought I'd give it to Gutierrez, and it was a good decision as well, because what a penalty that is, right into the top corner by our centre-back. Doesn't have the best penalty stat, but he's a powerful young centre-back. I knew he was going to hit it with some power. He sends Lee Camp the wrong way, and one of the things I'm really excited about staying with Millwall as well is that we can develop Leao Gutierrez, because I know it sounds ridiculous, but he is an awesome young centre-back, and I definitely believe he's got the potential to hit the 90s. He's an awesome centre-half, and that's going to be one of the the most exciting things about staying with the club, you know, being able to develop a really young centre-half in Leao Gutierrez, who I'm sure will eventually captain Millwall one day. But yeah, that made it Millwall 2, West Brom 0. Gutierrez' second goal in the Premier League this season, and we are 2 goals in front here, and we dominated throughout the entire game, really. West Brom didn't very threaten Alex McCarthy at all, to be honest. And in the 89th minute with the game being closed out, McCarthy shows pretty much how simple his job was there, as the header back from Todd Gain is collected easily. And of course we do play out from the back once again. There's no panic from us really. I mean, we're 2-0 up. West Brom are basically giving up on the game. We just pass the ball out, get a feel for the ball, and, you know, basically just pass the ball around and look to score a nice team goal and get everyone involved. Junior Stanislaus, who was definitely on course of man of the match, goes down the left-hand side, cuts inside, shoots to his right foot. It's a good block. It comes to Zyrus there off the bench. He rolls it through, and Stanislaus does get his second goal of the game, and that was a really nice goal as well. Of course, it wasn't like a straight team goal. There was a block shot in there, but even so, a really nice pass by Zyrus through the legs of Chico Flores, who had an absolute nightmare game for West Brom here. And Stanislaus gets his second goal of the game and caps off a man of the match worthy performance there. So 3-0 the final score, and it's great, isn't it? I mean, you know, we just turned down Manchester City, and I'm sure, you know, in a lot of people would have been sitting there thinking, what? How on earth? You know, you must be so annoyed that we didn't choose Man City for you. You know, why would you want to stay at Millwall? Because of course there's a big gap in class between Millwall and Manchester City. But to be honest, a 3-0 victory at home against West Brom with a weakened side, that's exactly why I'm very happy to be staying at Millwall, because this squad has got a lot of potential, and I definitely believe next year we can challenge for the top 4 with all our signings coming in, and with a very good season under our belt so far. And of course, if we get given like a few £1 million, we could possibly make a really big name signing. Yeah, I'm definitely confident of our chances of qualifying for the top 4 next year. We do of course have this Europa League quarter-final second leg game against Inter Milan here at the San Siro for our following game. And of course the first leg finished 1-1 at the Den, which meant Inter Milan came into this game knowing that if they didn't concede in this game they would be going through, so we needed to score really. And the San Siro looks great on this game as well. Another good chance to see the real life 3D stadiums, and again another chance for me to talk about the card mosaics, which I'm sure nobody else cares about other than me, but it just looks so good, doesn't it? But yeah, we do take on Inter Milan, and to be honest, after a 1-1 draw in the first leg, I probably should have came to this game feeling really pessimistic of our chances, but a very, very good win on the weekend, 3-0, and of course with a good side out as well, full strength side other than Gutierrez, of course, who was on the bench because Beavers is rated higher, and of course Danny Ings is on the bench as well. He's coming back from injury. Our top scorer is on the bench. I actually felt really confident about our chances, and I also had a lot of faith in Michael Ngu that he could stand up and deliver in this game. Because it was going to be a big game, we knew that for sure, but I definitely had the confidence that we could go ahead and get a couple of goals under our belt here in Italy and try and progress through to the semi-finals like we told the board we would do. But eventually we kicked off, of course, knowing our objective in this game. We had to score, and I really wanted to do it early on as well. I didn't really want to leave it too long before we started to put the pressure on Inter Milan and try and get a crucial goal for us away from home. So straight from kick-off, we got a feel for the ball as per usual, passing the ball around from the beginning. Not just lumping the ball up the pitch and hoping for the best, but just passing it around a little bit, trying to get everyone involved and making sure that we don't concede possession early on and get some confidence straight from the early minutes. And in the 4th minute, Jack Robinson's onto the ball here and gives it to Seb Larsson, our reliable centre midfielder. He gives it to Brian Carrasco. Ronaldo chops past the man before, backheeling it to Seb Larsson, and Larsson, of course, a CM that can also play on the wing. He has a fantastic cross in him, and I'll tell you what, if you're going to see a better cross than that, then I'd like to see it. That is an absolutely incredible ball by Seb Larsson, and what a composed finish by Michael Ngu as well, trying to make a statement in this game with Danny Ings still the plaster next to his name, not fully fit yet, trying to make sure that he can compete for that number 9 shirt and make sure he does stay as our first choice striker. What a volley, and straight from kickoff we had the first goal of the game. It was an amazing team goal, a wonderful ball by Seb Larsson, and Michael Ngu's volley was just perfect as well as he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way there. So that was just an absolutely wonderful goal, without doubt one of my best goals scored in this series so far. Absolutely superb to get everyone involved, and of course the finish by Michael Ngu was exquisite after an unbelievable cross by Seb Larsson. So 4 minutes in, we had to score in this game and we were 1-0 up, and as things stand we would be going through. But in the 20th minute, a great chance for Inter Milan. They came through here and eventually Icardi got himself into the box. He scored in the first leg, of course, but he couldn't score here. Alex McCarthy, our goalkeeper, makes a really, really good save. And just a couple of minutes after that, Jack Robinson intercepts his man and plays the ball through to Brian Carrasco. Carrasco keeps hold of the ball here, but then gives it away. Robinson plays it back to him, though. Carrasco goes down left-hand side. He's got a lot of space. He comes into the box and finesses the ball into the bottom corner. So 23 minutes in, Inter Milan 0, Millwall 2. A brilliant strike by Carrasco. Lovely ball by Jack Robinson as well. I've said it a few times before, but I'm definitely going to try and pick up up the left back on a permanent deal next year, because I don't think we'll be able to get him on loan for 3 seasons in a row. But yeah, fantastic finish by Carrasco there. I know he hasn't had the season he had last year when he was just incredible and unstoppable, but he's still a very awesome winger, and he's definitely a big part of my plans here at the Den. So really good finish by Carrasco after a nice ball by Jack Robinson. That makes it into 0, Millwall 2, and as things stand, we would of course be going through to the Europa League semi-finals as Carrasco gets his second goal in the Europa League so far this season. And in the 24th minute, straight from kickoff, Inter Milan give the ball away. Lee Cattermole collects the ball and gives it to Jack Robinson here. Everything was going for our left back as he finds Seb Larsson. Larsson plays the ball through to Michael Ngoo. He's already got 1 goal and he gets his second of the game. So 25 minutes in, Inter Milan 0, Millwall 3. The San Siro was just shocked. Ngoo gets his second goal of the game, and for me, of course, Danny Ings was on the bench. Of course, he had a plaster next to his name, so he wasn't, ready just yet. I didn't really want to risk him and aggravate his injury. As things stood, I wouldn't really need him. So it's 3-0 to Millwall, and in the 33rd minute again, Alex McCarthy makes a great save. So McCarthy was playing so well here, and then the follow-up shot goes straight into his gloves. So, despite being 3-0 up, McCarthy was still needed a couple of good times in the opening half an hour. And in the 35th minute, Carrasco goes onto the ball down the left-hand side, uses his electric pace, chips the ball in, and Michael Ngoo, his night just got better and better. He gets his hat-trick. It's Inter Milan 0, Millwall 4, 35 minutes in. And the Serie A giants, they just collapsed. They were all over the place. And Ngoo with a hat-trick in 35 minutes. I mean, Danny Ings on the bench. I don't know if he's going to keep his first-team spot as our striker for the rest of the season, let alone for the next couple of games, because Michael Ngoo was just on fire. 4-0 to the away side, and as things stood, it was 5-1 on aggregate, and we were just dominating past the Italians. And then Ngoo, of course, had a hat-trick. So, Inter 0, Millwall 4. And that was it for the first half. And the large part of the second half as well was basically no action whatsoever. There wasn't really too much action. And in the 76th minute here, Inter Milan did get themselves a goal back. Alvarez got it after Nagatomo's cross from the left flank. Really good header as well. No chance on McCarthy. And that was a real shame too, because I'm sure McCarthy would have loved to keep a clean sheet at the San Siro. That was a very good header though. Nothing he could do about that. But Mark Beevers, of course, starting in place of Guterres, was a little bit weak there. I'd expect a little bit better from my centre half, but even so, great header by Alvarez, no chance for McCarthy, and that of course did make it 4-1, so it wouldn't really matter too much. It was a consolation goal for Inter Milan and not much else other than that. But in the 86th minute, another good chance for Milan here. Icardi plays the ball through to Belfodil. He crosses the ball in, and Alvarez, looking for his second goal of the game, puts his header wide. But during that passage of play, Seb Larsson went down, and it turns out he broke his toe. I didn't see where it happened, but it turns out Larsson has a broken toe, so that puts our Swedish midfielder out for the rest of the season. And that really does suck, as Larsson, of course, would be injured for the final 3 months. But we did win the game by 4-1, so we are through to the Europa League semi-finals, and that is absolutely fantastic news for us, with definitely our best performance of the series so far. And as always, guys, big thank you for watching the video. Please leave a like if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.